What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my crypto journey. My name is Fudney, and today I'm going to be talking about the Dell Crypto situation, right? Dell Crypto has since resigned from his position with Lilly Finance, and he was on Twitter Live Spaces today getting a train ran on him by the Saitama generals. I'm talking about Jonathan PR Torres and Feltron. And I got a special tidbit for Jonathan PR Torres. Then I'm going to be talking about whether or not I think Saitama has any fault in this whole situation, right? Because some people argue, well, no one would know about Lilly Finance if it wasn't for Saitama. And lastly, I'm going to be talking about whether or not influencers are responsible for what happened. Mainly Scott Herman and Just Moonshot, right? They were on a live stream yesterday where they released the contract early. And then a lot of people are blaming Zach Humphreys and Austin Hilton for their role in shilling this token. But first, let's talk about the Dell Crypto situation. Now, Dell Crypto came on a live space where he was getting asked some pretty tough questions, and a lot of it is a nothing burger, but the things we should know is that he resigned from his position on the Lilly Finance team. Now, as you know, I made a video calling that really shady in itself. I think that Lilly Finance wanted to get someone with huge name value, right, who was already connected to the Saitama Wolfpack community and a trusted source, right? Although people don't like him, a lot of people do look up to this guy for their information. So having him on the team only helps their brand, but he did distance himself from them. He says that he only got paid a salary, that he never had a wallet at launch or anything like that, right? He never had any Lilly token. Now, do I believe that? Hell to the nah. No, I don't believe that, but we have to take his word for it unless we could get some evidence. Now, there was a lot of mouth breather ass questions on that Twitter live space, as you know, you do with some of those people in the Wolfpack community, but Crypto Bollocks asked some really, really high quality questions. And at the end of the day, the main takeaway was, no, I did not have any Lilly token. No, I did not know they were going to botch the launch. And yes, I separated myself from the project because of the kind of negligence they had when it came to launching the project, right? It was a shit show. Let's be honest. That yesterday was a shit show. So Dell Crypto was in those live chats, you know, answering the tough questions, but he has to answer the tough question. Why? Because yes, he's a medical student, so he says. Maybe he is, I don't know, right? But his livelihood is shilling, right? He cannot go into hiding or his shilling career is over, especially if it is true that he didn't get any Lilly tokens, right? If he got some Lilly tokens and made a fat bag, well, he's good, right? He's good. But this is his career, right? So he needs to be able to shill. He can't go into hiding. He has to answer to the people. Now, how will the people receive his message? I thought it sounded kind of half authentic, kind of half inauthentic. I don't believe him when he says he didn't get any money, but who really knows? Like I said, you had a guy from the Wolfpack community saying, show us your wallet, just show us a wallet. It's like, dude, it's the decentralized exchange. You could have 50 wallets. You're never going to find this guy's wallet unless someone knows for sure, right? They hack his computer or something. You're not going to know. So stop asking people to show their wallets when people are so dumb sometimes. Anyways, so that's the Dell Crypto situation. And Jonathan PR Torres, you get a special part in this video. You know why? Because Jonathan PR Torres is sitting up there on his high horse today in these Twitter live spaces demanding answers from Brad Beatty. When just a month and a half ago, I made a video talking about the suspicious past of Brad Beatty. And you know what Jonathan PR Torres did? He reposted that video, told everybody who followed him, all 3,000 people, to go report my video as spam, as a scam. Right? To tell people to go to my YouTube page and report it as a scam. And you know who else chimed in on that Twitter thread? Lilly Finance and Brad Beatty. Pretty much all talking shit about me, right? Piling on my video, trying to get people to cancel me, right? And then Lilly Finance blocked me after. So Jonathan PR Torres, I tried to put the message out, right? But you reposted my video saying I was a scam. Well, you look like a clown right now. Congratulations, dummy. Now, do I think Saitama is at fault here? Because a lot of people are saying, hey, Lilly Finance would have just been another shitcoin if it wasn't for Saitama introducing them at the Las Vegas event, right? The Saitamask release event on November 13th. Would people know about Lilly Finance? Probably not, right? It wouldn't have near the following that it does now because of Saitama. Do I think it's Saitama's fault? No, I don't think it's Saitama's fault. Look, I'm hard on Saitama. They're responsible for bringing someone I thought was a clear crook, right? I think he's a clear crook, right? Brad Beatty. But at the same time, I can't blame them for the failed launch event, right? I thought this thing was going to be the biggest pump and up of all time. Now, the chart looks like this, right? The chart looks like this. It was going to look like this eventually, in my opinion. I think this was a huge money grab, right? That's what I said. I made a video about it, right? I thought that this would not be over the span of 4 hours. I thought this would be a span over like 2-3 months. I thought this thing would be a huge pump, then big dump, and then they would siphon money slowly, right? So Saitama is not responsible for the bad launch last night, but they can take a little bit of responsibility for bringing them into the spotlight. And, you know, at the end of the day, Brad Beatty betrayed the Saitama team. I think this launch would have went better, right? Who knows? Who knows, right? It probably wouldn't have the volume it had, but I think that, maybe just Moonshot, maybe Max around this launch, maybe it could have went better than what happened yesterday. It would be hard to F this up more than what happened yesterday, right? I mean, at least there was no front running bots or anything like that. But I can't blame Saitama for this one because Lilly Finance broke the terms of their agreement, right? Lilly Finance did that. They were supposed to launch on Saitamask. Now, I get why they launched on Uniswap. They were tired of waiting because Saitamask is not working yet. Saitamask is still not working yet. And I understand that they're impatient with this whole situation. They want to get this token launched. Brad Beatty needs money, right? That team needs money. They got their money now, but I mean, at the cost of their reputation. But a lot of people don't care about that. No one's going to remember this probably in a year from now, right? There's been bigger scandals in the history of cryptocurrency and no one talks about them anymore. So this just could be a flash in the pan. They're going to ride off in the sunset with their money. And it's a centralized exchange. We can't prove that they stole any money. We just can't, at least not yet. We'll see if anybody else gets involved, any big, agencies, like maybe some government agencies, like the FBI or something like that, right? Cyber security, whatever, right? They can get to the bottom of this if they want to. But as of right now, it's not that big of a deal in the short term. So I can't blame Saitama. Now, were influencers responsible? First, I'm going to be talking about TARP, right, from Just Moonshot yesterday on Scott Herman's show. And Scott Herman, are they responsible? No, I don't think they're responsible. Why? They released the correct contract. It was available to them, which means it should have been available to everybody because it was on Uniswap already. There was trading going on. It's not their fault that Lilly Finance decided to wait 45 minutes after the contract, after the token was already on Uniswap. It's not their fault, right? Maybe they were waiting for something to happen, but the fact is people were buying in. There were already people in Lilly Finance already. So to me, it's like, if you're 5 minutes late on releasing the contract, whatever. If you're 10 minutes late, whatever. Even 20 minutes, but 45 minutes, it's crazy to me. I do not blame Scott Herman or Justin. I don't, because they released the correct contract. Now, if they released a false one, which was the theory at the time because people couldn't sell, well, then that would have been a major disaster, but they did not. So I do not blame Scott Herman, and I don't blame Justin from TARP. I just can't. Lastly, were Austin Hilton and Zach Humphreys responsible for anything in the situation? Well, no. Here's why. This thing was always going to be a pump and dump. Let's be honest, right? But a lot of things we talk about on YouTube are going to be pump and dumps and not going to be around for a long time. Let's just be honest, right? I thought that stunt they pulled the other day with having TARP on their show talking about the obvious pump and dump they got into where they got their Patreon members wrecked, right? I thought that was a weird public stunt, right? Whatever you want to call it. But why are we getting mad at them for explaining the situation? They never told anyone to buy Lilly Finance. They said they were going to get in on it, right? And people follow them, but it's not, you can't blame them for Lilly Finance botching this launch like this. You just can't blame them for that. A lot of people wanted to buy Lilly Finance just to make the money. Let's be honest now, right? If people made a bunch of money from this launch and everything went well, then we wouldn't be going after them. But the fact is, Lilly Finance stepped away from Saitama, decided to go rogue and do their own thing, and fucked it up. That's it. They messed it up. They messed up the launch. So I don't blame Austin or Zach for any more than I blame anybody for shilling anything. A lot of people do follow them and a lot of people look up to them. I think that maybe in their videos, they should really stress the fact that, hey, I'm not telling you to buy this. As a matter of fact, do not buy this. I'm buying it. But the thing is, like, people are going to look up to them. People look up to me and get into things I'm into, even though I'm just experimenting with a shitcoin, right? Because they could go to the moon or go to the dirt, like what happened here. So I can't really put all the blame on them. I think the blame is on the Lilly Finance team. They royally messed this up, but at the end of the day, I think that was the plan from the beginning, right? So let me know what you think in the comments down below. What are your opinions on this situation? I'm interested to hear what you have to say, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.